Hello folks, I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at Pit of Wings by Ramsey Campbell, which is in my Appendix N collection of fantasy stuff that was published in 2020. The short story by Ramsey Campbell was published in 1977 in a collection called Swords Against Darkness, which a number of the short stories in this collection were published in. This short story is about 15 pages long. It took me right around a half an hour for me to read it last night for the first time. I've read a lot of Ramsey Campbell short stories that are horror, but this is my first encounter of a Ramsey Campbell short story that's actually not in the horror genre, but in this case it's a fantasy short story. So definitely wanted to check it out and read it, and so I knocked it out last night. It's about 15 pages long. It's pretty quick. The basic idea is that we have a point of view character who encounters slaves outside of a city. He decides to interact. And then later on he'll be captured, and then he's taken and he is sacrificed. And as a part of that sacrifice, some bad stuff will happen to him. And that's it. That's the short story in a nutshell. It's not that innovative. It doesn't have that many imaginative things that are happening. So I'd say it's probably more of a 6 or 7 out of 10. I'm going to round it up to a 7. It doesn't have a flip ending to it. Doesn't have something that you couldn't predict that was going to happen. The only interesting thing is that the physical description of the winged creatures is particularly grotesque and interesting, and Campbell does a good job of describing them. Bring out the horror of these creatures that he sacrificed to, and I enjoyed that description. So I did like that, a Pit of Wings. But basically I'm just going to be giving this a 7 out of 10. Now, this book has in it a collection of short stories and one novella or so here and there that are in the Cthulhu, that have influenced Dungeons & Dragons and were listed in the Appendix N, which is an appendix in the 1979 Dungeon Master's Guide, the first Dungeon Master's Guide in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. And as a part of that, Gary Gygax listed a number of sources of influence that can be used for inspirational reading. That appendix is reprinted at the end of this collection, in case you want to reread it. This short story by Ramsey Campbell and Word of the Writer Ramsey Campbell are not listed. It's one of about 4 or 5 stories during this that were not a part of the appendix. But he's still rather, it has a lot of fun things that are happening. If you were to say that this Ramsey Campbell short story from this collection from 1977 did influence some of the things later on, I think that might be interesting. But I wasn't able to find any proof of that, but I did some research on it after reading it last night. So it's possible that but again, I'm wondering why this Ramsey Campbell short story is included in this collection. There's not 2 or 3 pages of vignette as the beginning of the short story. It says this is the reason why I included it. This is what. This is the research I did on the short story. It is a part of a collection called Swords Against Darkness that several short stories from this collection were taken from. We've already looked at this. At a series of short stories from Atlantis by Minley Wade Wellman, who is on Appendix N, for Cardias, the last survivor of Atlantis who washes up on the shore of another place. That first short story that we've already reviewed for you is actually in this collection too, so that's fun. But we've looked at a number of short stories that are from the Swords Against Darkness collection published in the late 70s. And this is another one by Ramsey Campbell, written Pit of Wings for you. And there's not too much time for me to spend on this, so I won't spend that much time on it. It's only 15 pages, not a whole lot of stuff happens, it's only 7 out of 10. So there you are. Have you read Pit of Wings by Ramsey Campbell? Anything else by the author? What did you think of it? Did you agree or disagree with my take in any way or shape or form? If you wanted to spend some time talking about it or it's spoilers, I would be happy to do so in the comments below. If you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button, because there's going to be a lot more of these to follow in fantasy, science fiction, and horror. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it, watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.